Absolutely. Firstly, I must tell you that I am an alumnus of MIT. I did mechanical engineering many years back. And it was so refreshing to see Dr. Rahul Karad's vision about creating not just yet another educational institution, but a pioneering initiative that will actually create the right leaders for our nation. The world says that India has a big opportunity to contribute to the global progress as we go along. Within India, the youth is our power. And such initiatives like the Goa Institute is really the way that you not only build a university of the future, but you also build the leadership of the future. And this leadership will have to solve complex problems. This leadership will have to think differently. This leadership will have to work differently. This leadership will have to live differently. And hence, you have to create an institute of the future. And that's exactly the vision that I saw in Dr. Rahul Karad. And it's very refreshing. I don't think there is any other institute or even the thinking of such an initiative globally going on. So well done and congratulations to the entire MIT community. Yeah, so firstly, I think what is innovation? Innovation is, in my mind, is a successful execution of a new idea, right? Now, what does that mean? New idea for what? A new idea for a new challenge. Now, that challenge has to be a nation-building challenge, okay? So, you need to solve problems that will make India the developed nation that it is going to be very soon. And you have to contribute to that. And then figure out what are those issues that are coming in our way, all right? Now, if you look at transdisciplinary education and innovation, and you marry the two, essentially what you're saying then is, how do you become not just a lawyer or a mechanical engineer or a chemical engineer, but you actually become a solution engineer, where you bring everything together and you say, this is a complex problem. Let us solve this together as human beings, together as skill sets from different fields, but with the help of advanced technology, because technology is going to help human beings to solve complex problems faster and better. And I see that vision clearly in the architecture and the structure of this great university. I think we need to sensitize the entire ecosystem. Okay. Now, when I say sensitize the entire ecosystem, it is not just about the students, it is also about the faculty. The faculty has to be visionary, the faculty has to be mentors, the faculty has to guide the students in a certain way. Then comes the big component of workplace. Okay, let's not call it industry, because workplace is where they will apply their skills. That workplace could be somebody else's workplace or your own workplace, right? So you could either be an employee or you could be an employer of other employees by being entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurship does not mean that you have to start a new business. Entrepreneurship just means that you also need to have a problem-solving capacity and ability where that solution becomes useful to the society, even when you are an employee, okay? Now, for that, you need to have curiosity and inquiry and the ability to inquire, all right? So if you look at all of this, and if your workplace is not integrated with how you're shaping up to contribute to problem solving, right? Because what does the workplace do? The workplace takes you and gives you tools and opportunities and resources to take your skills and solve the problem, correct? So that has to be very seamlessly sort of bridged and woven through. And I think there the industry or workplace or business or whatever you want to call it has to play a fundamental role as not just partners but stakeholders. Okay, we cannot complain that students coming out of engineering schools are not employable, then what are we doing? Why aren't they employable? You can't say that academia. The academia cannot say that business. Okay, it has to be a joint effort. And joint effort means joint ownership. Joint ownership means that if you are going to be the producers of talent, and we are going to take the talent and give them the opportunities to solve problems, real world problems, then we have to work together right from the structure. Let's put the talent at the center. Let's build around the talent, right? So take the student, build the curriculum around that, take industry with you, saying that what problems are needed to be solved, and then design around the talent. Let the whole experience be like we call the journey of a customer in industry. Let this be a journey of a student. How does the student progress from year 1 to year 10 within a workplace? And what is the role of these two institutions coming together? So I think I'm very clear in my mind that industry or business or workplace cannot be just receivers of talent. They also have to be creators of talent. And not within, but also while you are shaping the talent in a university. So it's all of that, correct? And there I think parents have to be also a big part of the ecosystem that need to be considered as a stakeholder. Parents have to be sensitized to why are we building this talent? Why are we taking your son or a daughter and taking them through this journey? They need to understand so that at home, they also encourage the way the students are learning and not asking the questions the way that we learned as parents. Saying that, no, but what is this? Because we learned it the other way. No, times have changed. The problems of the future are going to change. The way learning is happening is changing, right? So they should not be saying, no, but this is the only way to learn. So hence I think an ecosystem has to be formed between the student, the faculty, the workplace as well as parents, all come together and design it around this talent so that nation building happens and we solve national problems at scale. I think instead of looking at transdisciplinary and global shifts, we should look at global shifts first. And I think the world order is fundamentally going to change in terms of various existential issues. You talk about climate change, and that's an existential issue for not just for students or institutions or industry, but for society at large, for humanity at large, for life at large. And then we are also talking about challenges that will come from the advancement of technology. For example, artificial intelligence is not just a technology, but one of the biggest disruptive technologies. And when I say disruptive, I'm not saying negative. Okay, one of the disruptive technologies that will bring in tremendous value to problem solving in humanity. But at the same time, humanity has to very quickly rise to that challenge and work accordingly. Now, these are some of the ways that the world is going to change in the future. And hence, we need to create talent that will solve for that, or that will be able to address those challenges. And hence, I think it is a no-brainer that whatever you want to call it, integrated, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, collaborative, public-private partnership, whatever you call it, it has to be a one-team effort. Because if you don't do that, and if you just say, okay, now we are just doing this, and here is chemical engineering, and here is humanities, here is science, here is climate, here is technology, here is India, here is US, here is Europe. Climate change is going to affect each and everybody in the world. So you cannot say this is us and this is you. We all have to work together as the world, right? AI is going to affect the entire world. How do we work together to maximize the positive benefits of AI? So I think it is a no-brainer. It's more required now than ever, where it is not just transdisciplinary, but I think it is more of a sort of globally integrated approach towards solving global problems. And I think we have to play a big role. And I can see that in the vision of Dr. Rahul Karad, when he looks at programs which really do the fundamental teaching and is looking at building life learning communities, which is such a superb concept, where there is peer-to-peer learning. A lot of fun will happen there, but there is learning through fun and learning through peers. Then there is cross-cutting centers of excellence, which teach you much more than and then finally, after all this, there will also be research institutes. And that is where you learn all of this and you apply there to generate new knowledge. Put all of that together, you will be able to then not only be ready, but you are already solving a national problem. I think the infrastructure that we need is a mindset. Mindset as an infrastructure is something that is not talked about, and that is where people think, okay, this is my institution, this is my course, and for the first time today, when I spent the whole day with Dr. Karad and he was explaining partnerships, he laid such a big emphasis on not just industry academia, but academia partnership. That is so refreshing. We don't hear that. And he was talking about how he's partnering with global institutions. Now, partnering is not just intention in his mind. Partner is execution. He has already planned what he's going to do with IIM in Dubai. All right? Not saying that, no, they are IIM and I have to hold my... But now that collaboration has started happening, there is a private-public academic institutions, private academic institutions. All of these will come together and industry will be able to then play a larger role instead of just saying that, okay, I'm just attached to one university in India. We will be attached to an ecosystem of problem solvers, ecosystem of talent creators, ecosystem of future leader developers. When such partners. So I think we will have enough of infrastructure. Technology is the biggest infrastructure currently. Definitely. Okay. And we have to make use of it. But if you don't have the mindset as an infrastructure component, I don't think we'll be able to do that. But I can see, I'm very, very, very excited to see that vision coming true through Rahulji. Thank you. I was a student here and I remain, in fact, it's funny because during the day I was listening to all of the nice things that are being planned, and then also your Life Transformation Center that's coming up, and all of that as an ecosystem. And I'm thinking, should I be a student again? This is so exciting. I wish, but of course, if not a student, at least I'll be able to contribute in whichever small way. So I'm looking forward.